AI, which include machine learning, IoT, blockchain, cybersecurity, and the cloud. So which one you think is the which come out as a winner?
AI means, you would let the computer decide certain things. So you have a trade-off, go left, go right, and AI decides we go left. Okay. When you look under the hood, in the data science hook, in the supply chain, it isn't that complex. New applications from startups and scale-ups are in the cloud. And why? Because, they can be connected to all kind of on-premise applications like ERP, WMS, and TMS. I think that they're all interconnected.
This video is brought to you by us, SCMDOJO. We provide awesome courses, guides, best practices for supply chain community.
Hi folks, today this is one more episode of the Supply Chain Show. We have Martin, we have him earlier on the show. The episode was brilliant, and Martin is one of the leading futurists in the industry. I mean, he has been doing this for last couple of decades, so he exactly know what's happening with the technology. He's got a magazine, and he's got a lot of softwares, linked with the softwares, and he's up to speed with the technology. I'm sure he will tell you more about it. But today what I want to focus on, what does digital supply chain digitalization means? So what does that mean, right? So everybody uses the word like AI, cloud, cybersecurity, blockchain, but what does it mean? And are people are using it? If they're using it, then how successful they are, and why should they do it in the first place? So hi Martin, welcome to the show. So just briefly, I think everybody knows you anyway. You're one of the leading influencers. I want to right now tell people about your current focus on technology, and then we start our questions.
All right. Hi there, everybody. My name is Martijn Lofvers. I'm the Chief Trend Watcher of Supply Chain Media, and you might know me as the Editor-in-Chief of Supply Chain Movement, the magazine, quarterly magazine, but also the website and the newsletter. We are focusing right now on research on supply chain digitalization. So what we have done lately, and we're in the middle of it, so we do a survey, and it will be published in a trend compass. And basically, first we start, what are the trends in the world? You see globalization, sustainability, and digitalization is one of the major trends. And a lot of companies are busy with the digitalization, and there are two ways to explain it. First you have digitization, and digitization is actually, you have your current process and automate it. So you have your Excel and the same process, you automate it, and that's called digitization. And then next you have digitalization, and that's more, you want to improve your process, you want to change it, you want to change your business model. So to me, there's a distinction between digitization and digitalization. So in that sense, digitalization of supply chain means you want to improve your supply chain. You want to make it better, not just get rid of the Excels and make it more robust, but you want to improve it to the benefit of your customer. So that's what we're focusing on. So what we see right now, a lot of companies, they want to do digitalization for the business, for the supply chain. But most of the time, the problem is companies don't know what their actual business strategy is. And if they don't know what their actual business strategy is, it's almost impossible to improve your supply chain. So first, the question is, what is your business strategy? Is it operational excellence, lowest cost, like Walmart, like Amazon? Or is it product leadership, Apple, Nike? Or is it customer intimacy, Cisco, or some others? Basically, and if you go in the different directions of your business strategy, your supply chains will be different, look different. From engineer to order, up to make to stock, you have different kind of supply chain types. So we have mapped out the business strategy based on the customer need, the supply chain types, and then you will know where to look for in innovation. So in our trend compass, we have determined 18 different kind of technologies, blockchain, IoT, machine learning, and so forth and so on. And we have connected to the right business strategy. So blockchain you can use for operational excellence, but also for product leadership. So if you don't know which direction you're going, all those new technology doesn't make sense anyway. So basically, in essence, and then you can start some more questions, asking more questions is, okay, what is the direction you want to go forth? And if you know what your new business strategy will be, then you have a better way to think, what is my digital roadmap? To what new technology I have to look for, and what technology doesn't make sense according to my business strategy. So if you talk about machine learning, IT, IoT, you name it, 3D printing, it's useless if you don't know where you're going to and why.
I think, Martin, that is a fantastic start. You know what? Everything starts from your understanding your business strategy, supply chain strategy, and then mapping out what are one of the technologies available, right? To do so, to make it work. But I personally feel, what's actually happening is it's like any other thing. There's a buzzword going around, and people want to jump on it. And I can see some supply chain strategies from the corporations available, and they're just throwing those buzzwords. Now we're gonna move towards the IoT, we're gonna move towards supply chain, we're gonna use AI, right? So I'm going to focus on 5 technologies right now, and I'm going to focus on what kind of, as you said, what kind of business strategies, which is those 5 technologies are suitable for. So the first one would be artificial intelligence. The second one would be the Internet of Things. Then I'm talking of cloud. Cloud could be anything. Again, the blockchain and cybersecurity. So starting with AI, so what kind of businesses or supply chains should focus on AI?
So AI, and machine learning is a part of AI. So AI is a bigger cloud, a bigger container environment of phrases, and machine learning is part of AI. So there's a misunderstanding in that sense. So AI means, you would let the computer decide certain things. So you have a trade-off, go left, go right, and AI decides we go left. Okay. And machine learning is some way of, okay, you have done stuff before, and based on that, you make better decisions. So what we see now, for example, you see a startup called CargoNext. They use machine learning for transport planning. So normally, okay, you have your orders, you have to distribute your stuff, and then, okay, you want to have a carrier, and okay, maybe you have a 3PL arrangement, or you want to have a carrier. But now they have a lot of data. Henkel is using CargoNext, and because of they are using all this data, they see, okay, in certain month there is a peak for promotions, so there's a higher need for transportation. And if you feed the system, they will know, oh, in a few months' time, we need some more capacity. So the machine has learned that. And then okay, I have to reserve capacity right early and then claim it for a cheaper price than when I then right late before, a week before the peak is, and then I have to pay the high price. So you see the transport planning, machine learning is now coming up. And also learning from what does traffic jams mean for your expected time of arrival? What does the weather mean for your expected time of arrival? And now you see all kinds of applications in transport management using machine learning. But also in forecasting, you see, okay, COVID-19 has disturbed all the forecasts because all the statistics were wrong, were different. And now you see machine learning picking up, what should we order? And AI can help you out. If you don't have a history of a year of a product group, AI can fill out the gaps. So AI can make you create a history you don't have, but AI can create it for you, and based on that, you can improve your forecast. So you see different ways, and that I've mapped out in my trend compass. You see machine learning and AI in different areas taking place. But the whole sense is, where does it make sense? In some areas, you don't need to forecast. In low-cost areas, you stop bothering forecasting. In some areas, you need to. So if you are in a promotional area, you need some forecasting. So in some areas, stop forecasting. Just replenish and stop forecasting. But then again, you say, okay, then you need more agility if you need to. In operational excellence, you say, okay, it is what it is. You get what you get because you are Primark or Action or Walmart. It is what it is. Don't forecast. Create your own market. So there you will see that AI and machine learning has been used and implemented in different ways successfully than when you are product leader and you have new products coming up, new promotions, and you do want to forecast. So in that area, you see different applications, successful applications.
Okay, I think the way you explain is pretty well how to fit in which application, but to do so, and for each technology, I'll very briefly, if you can touch base, what capabilities we need in the team, right? Because if you just rely on one or two people, generally the people who knows about AI and machine learning, I mean, sorry for tape casting people, they are considered as one of those nerds, right? The data analyst nerds, and they're not necessarily one of the best people to convince the decision makers to start using those appropriate technology, linking with the strategy, which, as you have rightly said. So if you are a C-level manager or a manager watching this video, what would be your advice? Okay, guys, this is a capability you need to develop in your team to start leveraging the AI or machine learning.
Well, actually, you have two parts of it. You have the really data science people who know algorithms. I used to have studied operations research, those guys on one hand. And on the other hand, you have the people who know, or try to know how to improve. And yeah, you need both people. And probably those are different people. But, machine learning and AI is all about algorithms, and for example, Netflix is using all kind of recommendation engines. So you see the recommendation within Netflix, and these are different kind of recommendations. So the people on the business side should know, okay, what kind of recommendations should we have? Like Amazon is also recommending all kind of stuff based on your history. So this is kind of the business side. And on the data science side, you need to apply certain algorithms, recommendation engines, to make it work on the commercial side. And data scientists are the same people who are doing operations research and forecasting. For example, if you look at the impact of the weather of your transport plans, those were the same kind of people who are doing transport planning. The one who are able to look at all the figures and see the trends, the peaks, and the outliers and that kind of stuff. And and now you have more algorithms in the data science world to make sense out of it all. But basically, when you look under the hood in the data science hook in the supply chain, it isn't that complex. It's all kind of fluffy, bogus shit. But if you look at the way they're looking under the hood, that's not that complicated. So if you are in the operation research.
Okay, so someone like me who can go take a course from wherever, like MIT, whatever, learn the basics of AI and machine learning should be, because the thing is, we know about what to improve, right? We just need to learn the data science part.
Yes. And there are real scientists who are designing the algorithms. Don't go there. You have the specialist. But if you know what the outliers are and what you see, okay, what is the impact on weather or promotions, whatever, then you talk about it. It's more like statistics. So you need statistical skills for that purpose.
So since we are, I know you can talk on just on this one topic all day. You're super knowledgeable, but I want to make the most of your time because you're busy and I've got a few more topics to cover. So the next we move to IoT, and IoT is one of my favorite things. And I tell you what, because I'm more logistics operations guy, and I do see a lot of applications which I wish happened quicker than it's not. For example, the whole wearable thing, which is more like a fashion and technology, well, I think is a misuse. For me, the variables and the use of IoT, right, have a better application if they applied in the industrial environment, right? And I'll just give you one example. The whole strategy of the mobility solution is designed on IoT, that the physical devices start emitting data, start creating data, which goes into a software and cloud. You do analysis and you make better decision. And that could be, predicting the demand, that could be preventive maintenance, that could be anything, right? So big fan of IoT. same questions, right? So what are you see? So what kind of businesses should focus on, and what capabilities you require?
Well, from a user perspective, is what does tracking and tracing make sense? And so it depends on your strategy as a company and where you want to move forward. And you see different kind of application of IoT in different industries, in pharma, in medtech, and so on and so on. So basically, why would you like to use IoT? And it's still depending on your business strategy. Is it operational excellence, product leadership, or customer intimacy? So you can Adidas has used tags in fashion in Russia very successfully to make sure where are all my stuff in the stores, in the back rooms, in other store in Russia, in Moscow. Can we deliver it on time? So Adidas, within 2 years' time, from a very bad supply chain to a perfect one, the best one around in fashion industry. And based on that, they put tags, that's IoT, on all the garments. And by doing that, they were able to locate all their inventory. Where are all my sneakers and my shirts in Russia and in Moscow? So basically, they want to get a better customer service, and applying IoT tags, you can do that. But on the other hand, with the asset-heavy environment, okay, containers, whatever, you have temperature sensors, and that's also getting better. And getting ahead to blockchain, you see IoT and blockchain are related, and you see now that tracking your assets like containers or trains, especially in that area, IoT, it makes a lot of sense. Where are my wagons, my train wagons, and where are my containers, and where are my stuff in the containers, and are they still safe? Is the container not breached? That kind of stuff on the high end. So that you see, and that's more operational excellence. So where is my stuff? Is it secure? So there's a whole area to gain. So in that area, it makes a lot of sense. But now in the medtech environment, you see they go to intelligent packaging, because in healthcare there's a lot of waste. It's high priced, very expensive. So now we get into the area of intelligent packaging connected to internet with tags, like medicine, all the stuff what goes into your body, whatever, tag it, because it's so expensive and you want to know where it is. So that's a totally different area. In the medtech environment, you talk about customer intimacy, that's made to order or configured to order, or your new hip is engineered to order. And there you will see that intelligent packaging and tagging will help out to smooth the whole process.
Yeah.
So there are different areas where you can apply it. The thing is, okay, what is the use of it?
Yeah. I think especially in the high value industry, I think that is rightly so, because intelligent tagging, and I've seen that I used to work in UK where we used to make engine fins, and one engine fin was basically value $100,000, right? If you lose one, you're screwed, right? And this is where I've come across first time a concept of intelligent packing, that one of the fins of the engine was 100% tagged, so you can, as soon as leave the factory and by the time it arrives to the Rolls Royce, we know where it is at every point in time. So it was pretty cool.
So in the area of Primark, it is a low cost fashion. It doesn't make sense to do IoT.
Right.
Too expensive. You have your container full of fashion. Here it is. And then when it's sold, it's sold. And that's a different area. So it's still depending on what is your basic strategy for your category or your whole company.
Sure, yeah. So high end makes sense. Low cost definitely not. Because I would probably want to mention blockchain later on, since you already mentioned. So I'm gonna pick this blockchain. And honestly speaking, my own research of blockchain and talking to people and how they're trying to sell it, I think this is more a fad rather than actual fashion, right? Because I'll tell you why. Because nothing wrong with the ledgers, and maybe I'm a bit apprehended by people calling me and trying to sell me cryptocurrency on Instagram. I think that put me off a bit on blockchain. That maybe that's a factor. But frankly speaking, not a big fan of blockchain. I don't think this whole ledger and data mining, all this crap gonna work. I don't think it's gonna replace your
the mining has nothing to do
I know
with supply chain.
but it's the whole science, the whole blockchain technology, right? But anyway, so I want to take, so I am have opposing view, as you can clearly see. I don't think it's gonna work. Now you have to convince me it will work and why.
Do you know that venture capitalists have invested 100 million euros in 2 startups focusing on blockchain supply chain?
Right.
So these venture capitalists, they are not stupid to invest.
They are. They have invested on Yahoo a lot as well, and Yahoo is bust, so they can be stupid.
No, those are investors who are investing in all kind of supply chain software, supply chain startups, and now they have invested in 2 Swiss from Switzerland startups in blockchain. That's amazing, yeah? It's a whopping 100 million euros. And then you look at, and I've analyzed over 200 supply chain startups in Europe. And those 2 startups, you know, they have a clear sense how to apply blockchain. And one of them, you know, they are tracking wagons, rail wagons. And they have put this knowledge about where is my wagon, who's owning it, and for the whole contract in the blockchain. That's genius. So that's asset-heavy environment. They know where my trains are. Nobody can fool with it, and they make it very secure because, you know, blockchain with the distributed ledger is secure as it can be, and they have applied it. So and then they can extend it, and this startup will roll out in all asset-heavy environments in supply chain, like the trucks, the machines, what you can rent out, they can use, sub-use, etc. And then it makes totally sense to put it in blockchain. But you can make the contracts, the actual contracts, who is doing what and why and when is who being paid, put it in blockchain, it's all secure, and you know how to handle it. And basically, you get rid of a lot of transactions, a lot of order administration, and what can go wrong. So if venture capitalists has invested 100 million euros in those startups, I think they are smart enough. And it's not the bet of like, you know, okay, Bitcoins and that kind of stuff, no. And another, one of those 2 startups, they are tracking very expensive products, like whiskey. You have whiskey bottles of $15,000. Who's owning this whiskey bottle, and where is it? Up to the end, to the customer, and you can put it in a blockchain, so you know it can't be stolen. So you have now whiskey. You know, a lot of use of blockchain is by applying it with sensors in IoT and blockchain. Who's owning this particular very expensive bottle of whiskey?
Yeah, but that is more down to the application of IoT than blockchain, right?
No, it is blockchain. Yeah, you need some tagging. You need to know where this product is, this whiskey. So you know, but it is in the end is a blockchain. So
yeah, you can do it anywhere. You can create a cloud solution to track it as long as it's linked in the software. You don't need.
Yeah, but then that's not secure. Let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
The harbor of Antwerp is using blockchain for distributing the password to get into a slot to get your container out. Before that, you know, you got the password, but you hand it over to a friend of yours, and he's picking up. And sometimes there's more stuff in the container than is in the bill of lading. Some extra stuff from Colombia, you know. So people, you know, could get in the harbor, get the container out. Sometimes even the container was distributed and delivered to the end place, and the extra stuff from Colombia was taken out. But now the password is in blockchain, so everybody is a trusted party. So you exactly know who has the one single password. You can't copy it. So now the blockchain is making sure that you know who's getting in. So it's waterproof. It's safe.
Okay, so if you think blockchain is that good, right? Then why it is not replacing, which is an obvious pain point in the logistics and transportation? Let me give you an example. then all of my shipping documents and, the whole pain of bill of lading, open the LC, shipping document. Why we are not replacing this with blockchain?
Why do you think those investors has invested 100 million euros in those two startups? Because they think that those startups will make it happen. These startups have already APIs to connect to ERP systems like SAP. So those two, and there are more, so we're getting there. But, we're past the peak, and we passed the trough of disillusion, like the Gartner hype cycle. So now we see actual applications in blockchain and supply chain working. But still, a lot of people don't trust blockchain, don't understand blockchain, and they don't see any people who can actually do this kind of applications. And now there are startups that are doing that. And it will take time, but do we need blockchain everywhere? No. Only where it makes sense to your strategy. But it really makes sense if you have 200 documents to import mangoes from Africa to Rotterdam. If you can put it in a blockchain and you get rid of all the documentation, or you can automate it, it makes perfectly sense. But the whole problem is who's providing this technology in a sensible way that not too expensive, on the shelf to apply it. And now you get these new startups, and they are big now. They are scale-ups. They are implementing this blockchain technology in supply chain. So it's a matter of time. In 5 years' time, it's common.
Yeah, but I think there is a bigger economics into play, right? Because if you think about those transactional exercises, which in theory could be replaced by, or you definitely believe it will happen in 5 years' time, but there's a bigger players. I mean, the government money, depending on the paying, because if I'm UAE, for every stamp of duty, I have to pay whatever 10 dirhams, 20 dirhams, for example. Bank make a lot of money by just managing the bill of lading. They're essentially doing the same job what blockchain will do. So I think there's banks got a lot of money, and for example, the government got a lot of money. Why would they actually let startups with the small money of 100 million replacing the money they make for over the decades? What they would let it do? Why they let it happen?
Why has Dubai announced to be the first city or state to be totally blockchain enabled? Why did they announce it? To get rid of all this paperwork, to get rid of all this dirty money. And and some governments will depend on it, and the smarter ones, the more innovative ones, like Estonia. Estonia is a digital government. Look at Estonia. They are totally digital, the whole government. And it's only a matter of time that they will apply blockchain to automate, and there are transactions involved, not IoT track and trace, but also transactions. Okay, now this stuff is yours, or now you are paying me. Can all be automated, and blockchain can help to make it secure. But you don't have to apply blockchain everywhere. No, only when it makes sense. Only when the security and the transactional thing also has to be automated.
Yeah, I think then I'll be paying through Libra, Facebook currency for all my transactions. That would be brilliant, right?
One thing, I've talked about experts about blockchain. Could you imagine in 4 years' time, 5 years' time, that people say, okay, my address will be in the blockchain, and only when I order something at Amazon know where I live, and then Amazon knows nothing anymore from me, nothing. So in the end, if you are, if you are wealthy enough and you are, you want your privacy, you'll say, my profile will be available in the blockchain, and you know nothing about me unless something I order you. The whole model that Facebook and Amazon knows all of you will be gone. So in 10 years' time, expect to be a whole people, the new people wealthy enough, young enough, they say, okay, I love my privacy. Amazon, you know nothing about me. My whole profile will be in the blockchain. Then Amazon won't know nothing about me.
Yeah, sounds like a good opportunity for some illegal people who wants to hide things, but
No. Lawyers,
I'm messing
even the lawyers, we'll get rid of all the lawyers. We don't need them anymore.
No, I think that's great. I think we should do a separate episode on blockchain. You definitely definitely trying to convince me. I think you're doing a good job, but I was just trying to have a debate with you. But you're right.
Okay,
Blockchain is the future. I'm just frustrated that it's not happening fast enough, right? And you know that's why I try to have a debate.
things will change in the new normal.
Yeah.
Things will change rapidly in the next years. It will be accelerated because of COVID-19. The winners, you will see quite clearly, are moving ahead way faster than the rest.
No, you're right. You're right. So
But
again,
there were some other technology you want to discuss.
yes, yes. There's a couple of more quick one and easy one, right? So while we're moving towards this whole IoT, AI, cloud, then the cyber security, right, itself is becoming a very important topic, right? And across the organization, I think that's a capability we need to develop, right? So again, you touch base on the strategy, you did the touch base on all the technology and how they link with it. But what do you think? What kind of game we need to really upgrade when it comes to cyber security? And I'm talking mostly the big and medium-sized corporations.
That's a difficult question. Yes, cybersecurity is getting more and more important. You don't want to be hijacked. But in the end, I think that sometimes the question is around cloud: is it safe enough or not? And I rather say that the cloud environment is more safe than your own environment. So there are a lot of discussion about cybersecurity and IoT and that kind of stuff. Yes, you need to look at it into it, but you need to have specialists in that area, and you have to try to hack yourself, that kind of stuff. But yes, it is very important. But I'm not a cybersecurity specialist myself. But the only thing is, what I see, I'm watching the whole discussion about cloud and security, and also with your own profile on Google and Facebook. I think, where to look at, who is responsible for all the security. And when you are in the cloud, I'm pretty much secure, or pretty convinced that these companies like Amazon Cloud Services are way better equipped for security than an average company. So the thing is, security, you can't do it all yourself, and you can hire specialists. But okay, who has the most to lose from all the cybersecurity? And there's a reason why Amazon Cloud Services is so big, because they pay a lot of attention and pay a lot of money on expertise on security. The same is with the Oracle and cloud applications. They are in that field, so that's where they're playing. So yeah, it's very important. But the thing is, should it withhold you to innovate the cybersecurity stuff? And I don't think so, because if you are getting scared about cybersecurity, you're getting nowhere.
Yeah, you're right. So just quickly touch base on cloud. I left cloud to the last because it's probably the easiest I wouldn't call it easiest to understand and most known, and most of the businesses should go there. And I'm really liking this whole application by Microsoft Azure and few other like Zoho. They call it a low code application. What I mean by low code is they can, people like me, even who doesn't know coding, the business can go and pick the modules and create our own business application. So I'm playing with this concept these days. I'm really enjoying it, right? So what do you think, future of cloud? What's your message for people to how to play with the cloud?
When we have done an overview of all kind of supply chain startups and scale-ups, and we have published it in a maturity matrix. It's available on our website, Supply Chain Movement. And all of these new applications from startups and scale-ups are in the cloud. And why? Because they can be connected to all kind of on-premise applications like ERP, WMS, and TMS. So basically, the cloud will be the new reality. 20 years ago, your ERP instance was your reality. You have to deal with that. But it's only what you get from all your data from outside into your ERP system, and quite disturbed, that was your business reality in your ERP system. But now within the cloud, with data from weather, traffic jams, your forecast, your promotions, your sales, your social media, it's all in the cloud. So the cloud is now your reality and not your on-premise ERP system. So basically, when you look at all these applications from startups, they are all built in the cloud. Why? Because they have to be connected to WMS, TMS, ERP from vendor A, B, C, and so forth and so on. They want to import the data from social media, the weather, whatever. You can only do that in the cloud. And all those cloud applications have open APIs. And APIs mean that it's easy to connect this kind of application with all on-premise application, your older systems. So in the end, the cloud, because of the way it is programmed, it's quite lean and mean, I would say, and basically they can connect to fields in your WMS, your TMS, pick it out, use it in this application, transport management or visibility or whatever. So that's the reason why I do believe everything should be, not every system should go to the cloud. Your legacy system, your ERP system, leave it where it is. So don't update your ERP system. Leave it where it is. Take a layer on top of it to extract the data from your legacy system, your ERP systems, in a data lake, and then connect the cloud applications to this data lake. So Henkel has been using a data lake, all the intelligence moving out of your legacy system, out of your ERP system, put the data in the cloud, and the intelligence will be tapping into this data lake. And in the cloud, you will do your intelligent planning, your prescriptive analytics. So basically, you have this application in the cloud, tapping into the data lake, extracting data from legacy system, and then you can use your legacy system forever. Don't replace it by new stuff. It's senseless. Don't harmonize your ERP system. No, invest it in a data lake, and with a data lake, you can apply all kind of new blockchain, IoT, AI applications in a new intelligent way to improve your business, to improve your service to the customer.
No, that's great. So a couple of quick fire questions before we end. So out of these 5 we talked about, which is AI, which include machine learning, IoT, blockchain, cybersecurity, and the cloud. So which one you think is the which come out as a winner? Just name one. You only have one choice.
I think that they're all interconnected, but in the end, I think the machine learning part is the most important thing. We have to learn from our history, and we have to build scenarios, and especially in this COVID-19 area, things are changing, and machine learning will help to make better calculations, to come up quicker with alternatives, scenarios, and even, be more intelligent to choose the right scenarios or the right series of scenarios. So machine learning, all in all, will be having the biggest impact, in my opinion.
No, okay. I think you're right. You're right. No, thank you, Martin. I think it's been a pleasure talking to you. I think you're the futurist. I think people should listen to you more and watch more, and we are happy to help you as much as possible and definitely promote your good work. So thank you very much for your time. And guys, so please subscribe to the channel. Please go and visit the Supply Chain Movement. Some really, really nice stuff on the website. So thank you, Martin.
Thank you. See you next time.